So far in game tutorials, we have learned how to keep score, how to set our score to 0, how to move an object to a random place, and make a sound when clicked. We learned those in our clicker game tutorial. Today, what we want to do is take a look at 3 other game tutorials. We're going to look at the Pong game tutorial, the chase game tutorial, and the adventure game tutorial, and see what types of gaming skills we can learn from each of these tutorials. And then we're going to go to the next page and start creating our ideas for our own video games. So let's open Scratch and head to our accounts, and we're going to go to create and just open a blank file. We're not going to actually be building right now. We are just looking at tutorials. We want to take a look at the Pong game first, and I'm just going to put it right up in the middle because I'm not creating, I'm just looking at the tutorial. I can watch the video and see what the Pong game is all about. But actually what I want to do is click on that right arrow and just read, what can I learn from this tutorial? So I can add a backdrop. I already know how to do that. Add a sprite. I already know how to do that. Bounce around. So I can make the ball bounce off the walls. I don't know how to do that yet. So I'm going to go back to my launch log, make it a little bit larger so I can type more clearly, and add bounce off the walls. So I can make a sprite bounce off the walls. And then if I go back and look at my tutorial, add a paddle, that's adding a sprite. I know how to do that. Move the paddle using the mouse. That is not something I've learned how to do yet. So I'm going to go back to my launch log and type move sprite using a mouse. Okay, and go back and forth until I've made a list of everything I can learn from these tutorials. So can I select a sprite? Yes. Add code to bounce a ball off a paddle. So I have one sprite bounce off of another sprite. That is something I don't know how to do. So make one sprite bounce off another sprite. Okay. Add a score variable. We learned how to do that in our clicker game. Change the score by 1. We learned how to do that in our clicker game. Reset our score to 0. We learned how to do that in our clicker game. How to do a game over. We have not learned how to do that, so let's add that. So game over. So if the ball hits a particular area, and once I hit these two, I know I'm at the end of my tutorial, and I can close that tutorial. And next, we want to go look at the Make a Chase game. So you and your partner are going to take some time to look at Make a Chase game and Animated Adventure. You'll come back together and write the notes as a whole class so we can make sure we all understand what we can learn from these. And then we will continue on with planning our games. So finish this step first. You have about 5 minutes.